Okay, imagine this for a second. You just got yourself the job you wanted. You are celebrating like an absolute maniac. You're dancing, you're shuffling, you're doing the floss. I mean, I don't know what you're doing, but you are having a blast because you just got that job. Now, you go into your bag because you want to see if your camera is ready to go. You pull out the camera strap and suddenly you realize the camera strap is broken. And you have no idea how you're going to fix this. All you know is that it's broken and there's just no fix for this. And then you come to a realization. Sure, you could go on Amazon and buy yourself a new camera strap, but that might take anywhere between 2 to 3 days. But this job is tomorrow, and you need to get this done literally now. So what do? You're literally stuck. Today, I'm gonna show you how you can fix that very problem in literally 10 minutes, and it's all gonna cost $1. So I know for a fact you probably have a very expensive camera if you are clicking on this video. And the only way you are gonna save your camera from falling is if you head over to Dollar Tree and grab yourself a roll of paracord. Now, why do I say you need to grab a pair of paracord? Because this is probably the most valuable tool you'll have. Because with one of these, you could probably pull off 2 or 3 wrist straps. And honestly, the only tools you actually will need, you probably have laying around the house. So this here is a 25-foot piece of paracord. Now, what can you do with 25 feet of paracord? Well, you can make yourself a wrist strap, and a wrist strap is very easy to make if you know the right technique and how to do it, and it really doesn't take all that much time. As for the tools that you will need, it's very simple. You'll only need a pair of scissors and a lighter, and that's it. So you want to start off by unspooling your paracord. Now, unspooling it, you just have to pull it from the middle and just keep pulling it out like this. Now, you're gonna need of this about 7.5 to 8 feet of this in order to make this work. So how do you go about measuring all this unspooled paracord? Well, the best way to do it that I figured out how to is to wrap it around the spool itself in a diagonal fashion. There should be about 6 inches from the top of this here to this little foot right here at the bottom. And that should be about 6 inches. You don't need to be super precise, but as long as you know that you have about 8 feet, you're good. So when you're ready to cut your paracord, all you have to do is literally just cut it like that, and you're good to go. Now, what happens is it usually fringes and you start to see the little bits, the little hairs popping out. Now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab a lighter and you're gonna singe that end because you do not want it to get all saggy. Now, once your edge has been singed, you're ready to go, and now we can start building. Now, before I forget, don't forget to singe the other end that's on the spool because you want to make more of these to give to your friends. So now I'm going to show you how exactly you're going to go about building yourself the paracord wrist strap. You want to start off by holding both ends that are cut off together so that you have a perfectly even strand. And then at the very end, you have this loop right here. This loop is also gonna work as a guide for you because this is gonna be the end that you attach to your camera. So now that you have the loop in your hand, what you're gonna go ahead and do is you're gonna lift this up and you're gonna have this loop right here in your hand pointing upwards. What you're gonna do now is you're gonna adjust it just enough so that you know the distance that you want between you and your camera. I usually set mine up to be about 3.5 to 4 inches so that you have some flexibility with your wrist. You don't want anything tighter because if it's tighter, you're gonna cut off circulation and that's not gonna feel good at all. So what you're gonna do now is you're gonna use one of the ends, you're gonna put one of the ends through the loop and you're gonna pull it off to the right. An easy way to remember is if you wanna put the right strand in, you put it to the right, and once you put the left strand in, you put it to the left. So here's the loop, and here are the strands that you're putting in. All right, so now I've adjusted my angle a little bit to actually facilitate with the instructions here. But what you want to do is, once you get to this point where you put your straps through the loop and out to each side, what you want to do is you want to bring back the loop onto itself, like this. And then you want to make sure that you're putting through the loop. So what we're essentially doing here is a cobra knot. Now, a cobra knot is very simple to do. You have your two center core strands right here, and you want to make sure that you are doing a process that goes over and over and over again. That's very simple. Now, once you do your first cobra knot right here, you will know where the next cobra leading strand should go. So right here, you have one strand. That's the leading strand that should go on top. Then the second strand that you have in your hand goes underneath this leading strand, underneath the middle strand, under core strand, and then through the loop right outside, like so. Once you've seen that your strap, it has the flexibility like this that goes back and forth, you're pretty much set, because now all you have to do is just repeat the process several times and you're pretty much set. So once you've finished the process of repeating back and forth your cobra knot, all you have to do now is worry about this very end right here. And this will usually happen when it becomes uneven at some point, whether you've tightened the knot a little bit tighter or a little bit looser. You usually have a little extra strand, and how you fix that is very simple. All you do is you grab yourself your scissors and you just cut these points off like so. And all you have to do now, just to make sure that these don't get loose at any point, is you just singe the edges. Make sure you want to put that on there like this. Do the same thing to the other end. You don't have to make them burn or anything. You don't have to get them till they're burnt. But you just do that, and there you go. You're done. Now you have yourself a fully working camera strap that, honestly, I use on my personal camera. So the process itself takes about 10 minutes. It may take a little bit longer if you are starting out and don't know how to do knots and that sort of thing. So if that's the case, then it may take a little bit longer. But nonetheless, this only costs $1 and a few minutes of your time to make. And once this is done, you can literally strap it back to your camera. And for those of you who think I'm joking, this is my professional camera, and I'm not joking when I say that I bought literally this strap at the dollar store, which honestly is my tip to you. If you go to the dollar store and you find one of these spools of paracord, do yourself a favor and buy them in black. Honestly, buy at least one or two, because sometimes they don't have them. And if you want to see how functional this is, you just put it on your wrist, and there you go. There it is. I'm literally lifting the camera up with the wrist strap. It's fantastic. I mean, look at that. It's that resistant. It's fantastic to use. Doesn't take up much space, and all you have to do is just throw your camera in the bag, and you're ready to go. And there you go. Literally for $1, you have saved your $1,000 camera. There it is. I trust this thing 100%. I am not even joking. And if you guys want to go ahead and do it yourselves, go ahead and make it and show it to me in the comments down below. I want to know if you guys have pulled it off. And while you're down there, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the bell, because you want to be notified when new, creative, awesome videos are up on this channel. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Now, as a little added bonus for you guys who finished the video all the way to the end, I'm going to link down below some sources that you guys can actually go out and find that actually tell you how to make this with a lot more detail and a lot more care than I did. And one tiny last thing that I wanted to add as well is that if you guys want to see me make one of these, but into an actual camera strap, put it down in the comments below and hey, that could be a future video.